Is your Skyrim feeling a bit empty? With their respective expansions, Morrowind had 2,900 unique NPCs. Oblivion and Skyrim both topped out at about 1,000. Well, God Emperor Todd gave us the ability to mod. And today we're not talking about adding individual NPCs. Inigo and Sophia are great, but we want our Skyrim crawling with random people going about their lives. I'm talking about when you go to the Winking Skeever tripping over people because it's so packed full of people trying to get to their nightly pint of Nord mead. Here are the best mods that add lots of NPCs. First of all, like many things, Skyrim's engine wasn't meant to handle hundreds of NPCs. You start to get NPCs swimming through the air or animations just not loading. Before you get any of the mods I list later, pick up the Increase Actors mod, which will flat out increase your NPC limit to 30 in a cell. Pick up the 75 actor version and be done with it, or pick up the ESL version with a small tweak. Go into Xedit and change the limit from 75 to whatever number you prefer. As you can see, I changed my numbers to 150 in combat with me, and 200 in general. Second, Actor Limit Fix, which allows up to 256 actors in a cell to have animations and to speak. With that being said, Focused. First, a few more tightly focused mods. If you're running a college winterhold overhaul, the college can seem empty. For that, I suggest Immersive College NPCs. It adds 27 NPCs from college guards, new novices, new mages, even Sarthal workers. Next, to enhance your immersion in inns and taverns, I suggest Immersive Wenches. It adds various barmaids, both in taverns and traveling, merchants, bodyguards, bards, and even a quest to rescue kidnapped wenches. And if you're doing a vampire playthrough, you have the option of adding vampire wenches that can be counted on for a quick blood fix. You can scale the number of wenches to your liking, 89 to 126 total NPCs. War. If you're more of a war buff, I have 3 mods that'll add to your immersion when you're outside the city. All 3 of these add generic NPCs rather than specific numbers of named ones. Immersive Patrols adds Stormcloak, Thalmor, Imperial, and Dawnguard patrols to the mainland, and several others to Solstheim. Faction Warfare allows groups from 13 different factions to attack and war with each other nearby your current area, at a customizable interval. You can end up being a leader in one or more of these factions, barter and trade with them, and even see what you sold be used in raids. These factions are the same old Stormcloaks and Imperials, but also goes so far as to add Bandits, Forsworn, Giants, and many more joinable factions. But be careful, most factions have an opposed one. Third, Organized Bandits in Skyrim will give Bandits a much needed buff to the Bandit faction, and is a complete Bandit overhaul, adding a lot to the Bandit population. Next is what I would call my general category. Top 5 for sheer scope or quality. Travelers of Skyrim adds 50 new generic NPCs that travel from place to place. They do a little to make the world feel more lived in. Interesting generic NPCs adds 100 new custom voiced generic NPCs that occupy every city and town in Skyrim. Originally released as a precursor to Death Consumes All, which, sidebar, would be a perfect mod to play with all these mods enabled. Populated Skyrim Reborn is a merge of popular series of Legendary Edition mods. It adds NPCs to prisons, forts, dungeons, roads, and towns. They are generic, though they do have custom AI, so they're not as generic as the previous 2 mods, focusing more on quality over quantity. Citizens of Tamriel adds 43 custom voiced NPCs, each with their own name, story, and background. There are branching dialogue choices in the vein of Baldur's Gate or Dragon Age. Finally, the cream of the crop, Interesting NPCs adds 250 fully voiced NPCs with their own story. These people are fully immersively integrated into Skyrim's world. I can always tell when a 3D NPC is around because the voice acting and writing is so good. And it's not one of Skyrim's 10 voice actors. I often find myself stopping and talking to the NPCs just to hear what they have to say. Youth. Lastly, I saved this for the end. I have a few youth-oriented mods. Don't worry, in the base form, none of these mods allow you to kill or do anything strange, and allow them to keep their protected status, but make them look a little bit less like potatoes. First, The Kids Are Alright adds 27 new adoptable children to Skyrim. The Kids Are Alright Wild Child expansion adds 70 hunters, bandits, witches, and vampire children. And finally, Teen Dolls adds over 100 teenage characters, whether children of existing characters, replacers for some characters, or new ones altogether. And that's it. Just one thing. I ask that you crawl past your hordes of hundreds of new NPCs and hit the like and subscribe button. As always, happy modding.